Hello my friends and welcome here on YouTube with our third Old Gods card talk. We get a lot of exciting cards actually. We get a new Old God, like Nizos, I think that's how you would pronounce him. But I guess I had like, in the stream, we had like 10 different pronunciations like Unzos, Nizos, Nizos. So I guess we stick with Nizos and Cthulhu so far when it comes down to Old Gods. We also have the Rogue Legendary card. So there is, yes, there's also finally a Rogue Legendary card, and there's a 400 Dust Legendary coming. So quite some exciting ones popping up. I would say we're going to start with the Brood of Nizos. That's like some... actually the new Tiny Fin probably somewhere. He's super interesting, I gotta say, especially like because he's a deathrattle minion, and actually the new Old God works together with deathrattle stuff. So he's a 3-drop for 2/2, which stat wise is okay. I mean, 2/2 for 3. There are other minions that have that too, but his effect is just the interesting part. I mean, in general, like, if you look at it for Arena, okay, 3/2/2, not really worth it. And I would say, really, for Arena, it's a late game drop. But, I mean, imagine this in Zoo, for example. Not the old Nerubian Axe Zoo, because Nerubian Axe pop out of, like, you know, standard format, sadly. But you can play him really, really good in a Swarm deck. I mean, you can go for some Druid Swarm deck, especially with Living Roots too. So some like aggro token Druid again, maybe with Violet Teacher, something in that direction. You have Zoo decks, maybe some Rogue aggro deck also can always be possible. I mean, his death rattle is give your minions +1/+1. So he's like a delayed muster for battle. Not muster for battle, competitive spirit. But he's actually a minion and you can enforce it, you know? You can play him and then trade him, and then, you know, you get the effect and can use the effect. If he survives, you can even play extra minions that get buffed then. So I like him a lot. I think he's powerful minion. I mean, you could also play the Brood of Nizos, and like Power of Overwhelming Shadow Flame, for example. Just instantly use it, you know? Play him out, clear the board, get your other minions buffed. It's a possible scenario. I do think he's good in Constructed. We can definitely use him in Constructed. In Wild format, even better, because you can play Act Druid, you can play Old Zoo with all the acts. I mean, you put Dragon Egg in, you put Nerubian Egg in, then you play the Brood of Nizos. So, yes, for Wild, 100%. For Standard, I want to see like more early game minions that you can build, like how the new Zoo is really going to look like, how you could maybe build an aggro, no more Act Druid, but some aggro Druid again, maybe with a Brood, maybe some more beast-oriented thing. I don't know yet. The mounted raptor is still there. Could be also a thing. We'll see. I mean, there will definitely be death rattle decks because alone of Nizos. And that's like pretty good thing, I would say. For Arena, I think for Arena, it's not the best pick because, like, if you draw him on turn 3, he's a waste. You would have to have him for late game, and then he's only good if you have, like, 1, 2, or 3 minions. I guess for Shaman, probably for Shaman you can use him. Like, you go for Tusker Totemic, you go for Brood of Nizos. Yeah, for Shaman. In Arena, yes, for Shaman. In Standard and Wild, also for Shaman. Probably a pretty good one. So, I like it. I think it's great. Next one is the Faceless Shambler. Main question is, why not Faceless Manipulator in this case scenario? The Faceless Shambler is a 4-drop, which is like 1 cost less. A 1/1, which copies a friendly minion's attack and health. So a friendlies, which means you can only play him if you have a minion out, right? The good thing is he has Taunt. So therefore, I would say, what about Handlock? Old Handlock, Mountain Giants, Twilight Drakes, Molten Giants. I mean, he instantly has Taunt. So you get a Molten Giant or a Mountain Giant out, then you copy it, you know, 8/8, and he gets Taunt. But he can get silenced. Faceless Manipulator copies the minion. So far, I'm not convinced by the Faceless Shambler. But we'll see. I guess in Arena, it's okay. Like, let's say, like, from a Arena standpoint, it's an okay card. The silence is still dangerous, but you can copy a friendly's minion, health and HP, health and attack. So it can be good if you play something stealth or if you have a Norse Kraken out. And it has then Taunt to actually keep you alive. So wouldn't be all too wrong. In Constructed, it's like, you can get silence, but, well, mostly one silence in the deck. In Handlock, it could be interesting, but why not Faceless then? You know, copies. The only advantage really is the Taunt. So I would say mediocre card, probably not being played. And we get the Boogie Monster, 400 Dust. Thank you for talking about the card. 8 drop, 6, 7. Whenever this minion attacks and destroys another minion, it gains +2/+2. Yeah. Gruul is better. That's it. Nothing more to say. It's like, I guess every like Hemet Nesting Berry. Every edition will have the legendary you just disenchant for 40 dust, 400 dust. I think it's fun for Arena. If you get it in Arena, maybe you have like Laura Kacho, Nat Pagel, and Boogie Monster. So you pick Nat Pagel probably. You know? There it would probably be a good thing. But else, 400 dust. Nothing more to say. And there it is. The old god, Nizos the Corruptor. 10 mana, so another 10 mana card. Surprise, I think all old gods are going to be that. Battle Cry, summon your deathrattle minions that died this game. Don't look at his stats, who cares if he's a 5/7 or not, but summon your deathrattle minions that died this game. The first thing I think about, oh, that's why Belcher and Nerubian Axe are out of standard format. Because that would be way too fun. Imagine like playing him 2 Belchers, 2 Nerubian Axe, 100 Creeper maybe, or like a Sylvanas Cairn on top, and like, you know, just throw that board out. I really like Nizos. On the other hand, we have to see how many deathrattle cards there are left, you know? Standard format. I have looked through my collection. It's like mounted raptors there, Sylvanas Cairn, like the really good ones you want to have. I was not totally convinced so far, but then on the other hand, we saw the Nidhos Brood already also deathrattle. We have Nidhos Tentacle thing. We have the new Rogue card that's also coming. Actually, 2 new Rogue cards. Oh, the Rogue Legendary. Oh my god, the Rogue Legendary also works with him. Yeah, we're gonna have the Rogue Legendary in 2 cards. I'm gonna talk you through this. So he's really good. But you obviously have to play him in a deck that's able to survive. You know, if you have to be able to get to turn 10, you can win until turn 10 with your deck, but then you play him, get the board out, and your enemy can't even kill your board completely because you have deathrattle minions, which is like a pretty cool thing. I gotta say, I like him a lot. I think you can play him like, you can play a rogue raptor deck, you know, raptor because you can copy all your deathrattle stuff. And then you can even play Nizos, and with a new rogue legendary, you can get him back. Or you just play a shadow step, you play him, shadow step, next turn again. And your enemy is like 2 times getting the whole board swarm. So it's like survival plus return. I think he's gonna be great. I like him more than Cthulhu already. Just because of the deathrattle theme. In wild format, insanity, whatever, insanity. So many minions going out in wild format that have deathrattle. He's going to be beautiful there. So definitely looking forward to great moments there. I like him more than Varian because Varian can draw you also 3 spells. He draws, which can be better. But the other thing is, Varian was bad because Varian Rin drew you cards. Therefore, in a fatigue matchup, Warrior versus Warrior, you don't want to draw 3 cards. But Nizos, he doesn't draw cards, he just gets you minions back, and ultimately more cards if you have deathrattle cards that give you cards, like the new rogue cards. You know? And that's where Nizos comes in super handy. I'm like, blast it away, love it. It looks great. Plus, 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 8. Next one is Renounce Darkness. For 2, replace your hero power and warlock cards with another classes. The cards cost 1 less. Trollden. Hearthstone top plays. Whatever highlight YouTube. Welcome. Rush in. Here's another challenge. Win at least 10 games with Renounce Darkness as every class. So that's like the thing. The card is fun. It is pure fun. I would not say it's competitive. I would not even say it's in any way like you can get legend probably with a deck, Renounce Darkness deck. But in general, you replace your hero power and warlock cards with another classes, and it's all random. All random. You could get like probably 10 Dernas Aspirant, but the cards cost 1 less, which can be actually pretty good. I mean, like surprising. You know, your enemy won't even know what he's counting with. That's probably the good thing about it. Your enemy won't have a clue what he's counting with. Usually he's like, okay, he's playing this and he's probably playing that and, you know, stuff. And then just Renounce Darkness and he's like, what is happening? The funny part is it only replaces your Warlock cards. So you can build a solid neutral card deck. You know, the legendaries, like you have Elise in, you have some other neutral cards in that still push your deck pretty good. And then only the Warlock cards get replaced. That's the funny part. So you can play an Elise deck with Renounce Darkness and ultimately try to get Elise somewhere, but still be able to actually surprise your enemy or dominate the game with another class cards, you know? So it's not a bad card, it's not a good card. It's gonna be fun for ladder. This is pure fun and insanity. I'm looking forward to the first pro creating a really good Renounce Darkness decks. Thumbs up, Blizzard, good idea. I like that. We get the Undercity Huckster, and that's what I said about Nizas. So Death Rattle deck, he's a 2/2 for 2, which is good stats. And his Death Rattle is add a random class card to your hand from your opponent's class. Therefore, you play Undercity Huckster, you can trade him in, and you get bonus value card. So he's like a loot hoarder, only better because you can get a new card. You don't draw from your deck, so you don't lose a card to card draw. You actually gain a card, so you're playing already 31 cards. 2 Undercity Hucksters, 32 cards. And then you play Nizas, so you get those 2 cards back. That makes it 34. Plus the 2 cards you're getting from the Undercity Huckster, that's 36 cards. And if you copy his effect with a Raptor, it's already 37 cards, ultimately. You know what I mean? So you have a high card advantage over your opponent as a rogue, because you have the opportunity to actually summon bonus cards because of the Death Rattle effect of the Undercity Huckster. And I think the random effect doesn't matter. Whatever you get, most of the cards are actually useful. I mean, Shaman, okay, Totemic Might. But they're not a lot, or like Ancestral Healing, probably. But even that can be interesting because you can heal trade, you know what I mean? So it's not the worst, and I think it can be really cool. And I see Rogue going more for the minion road than actually for the Mallegus or Oil Burst road. So that's like somewhere where I see Rogue going in the future. Would be really interesting. I like minion Rogue since ever. I was a Mac Rogue fan. I was a Kill Through That Rogue fan. It's gonna be great. Then we get Tentacles for Arms. Dust. 5 mana weapon. 5 mana. 2/2. Return this to your hand. Death Rattle. So, in a warrior deck, highly fatigued? No. Not even there. Not even there. I mean, Gorehowl can at least kill like 5 to 6 minions. Like, tops down, you know? But the Tentacles for Arm kills like 5. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the worst. I mean, the good thing is, okay, we have to see it like this. The good thing is, if you're playing against someone that's also going for fatigue, you can like hit him. You can just constantly hit him. You know, you hit him, and you can remove the small minions with it. So I would say in an ultra fatigue warrior, maybe. But even there, big maybe on the Tentacles for Arms. Okay, big maybe. But I find it funny still. Like the effect, just return this to your hand, return this to your hand, return this to your hand. And the enemy cannot prevent it. He can play Ooze in your hand. You can play Harrison in your hand, you know? So you cannot silence a weapon. Not yet. Not yet, though. So it will always be there. It's like infinite value can be interesting. Still annoying, though, because just if it would be for 4, maybe for 4, maybe for 3. But for 5, probably not. Then, last but not least, we get him. And he's called Xaril, Poisoned Mind, which is the new Rogue Legendary card. And he's pretty... I'm biased currently. He's a 4-cost minion for 3/2. So if you look at it, wow, worse stats than Cult Master. But he has Battlecry and Death Rattle like Toshli. Add a random Toxin card to your hand. The Toxin cards are fairly interesting, especially if you consider a more minion-heavy, slower rogue deck. I mean, you don't have to play him on turn 4. He's definitely not a turn 4 play. I would see him as a turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, where you can actually instantly use one of your Toxin cards. The Toxin cards are the Blood Thistle Toxin, which is return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 2 less. Then we have the King's Blood Toxin, draw a card, also good. Fire Bloom Toxin, deal 2 damage. We have Fate Leaf Toxin, give a friendly minion stealth until next turn. And we have a Briar Thorn Toxin, give a minion +3 attack. Therefore, we have all the bandwidth, like you can card draw, you can damage, you can buff, you can stealth, and you can return. All pretty good. And you get 2 of those cards, and Nizas can resummon him. Because he's a deathrattle. He's a deathrattle card in my opinion, you know? And I think he's great. He's definitely great. He could get silence, but the ultimate thing is, even if he gets silence, he was still a deathrattle card. And I think you could still Nizas resummon him, you know? I like it. I like it a lot. I don't look at it as a 4-drop, because you're gonna play him and use a toxin probably in the same turn. Therefore, I would like see him rather the late game card, and then I don't care about his stats. Like 3/2 in constructed is okay, because you have to see like the bonus things you can do with him. He's not the shit, but he's fun, especially together with the Raptor. I mean, you play him on turn 7 together with the Raptor, also good. It's like a nice buff with the toxins. And then again, Nizas. So I'm already looking forward to be playing Raptor, Deathrattle, Old God Rogue. That's at least the plan to a certain degree. Those were like the recently new release cards. It's getting more and more interesting. I really want to see the last 2 Old Gods. I hope you liked the card review. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a happy Easter time. Wish you a good day. And, well, see you soon on stream again. Thank you for watching.